Good morning, Wildcats. My name is DJ.
And my name is Pierre.
Welcome back to Woodland Park Magnet School, located at Hammond, LA, at WP 26, the Wildcat News.
Today is Tuesday, January 16, 2018.
Everyone, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Raise your right hand over your heart.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now for the wrong announcements. Come support the boys and girls basketball team on Thursday. We play against Greenville Park. The admission is $5. Report cards go home tomorrow. Please continue to bring money if you owe for candy. Remember, you can't not attend the BMX show if you still owe money. The BMX show is on Thursday, January 25th. We are collecting box stops for every worksheet you get filled out. You will receive 5 o'clock cash. Just turn them in either your homeroom teacher or Ms. Brown when you go to the computer lab. This is our wrong announcement.
The Civil Rights Movement. It took place during a time when African Americans were not given the same rights as other people in America. The Civil Rights Movement was a protest against this inequality. On August 28, 1963, over 200,000 Americans gathered in Washington, D.C. to talk about civil rights. One of the speakers there was Martin Luther King. And on that day in August, he shared his dream with the world.
I have a dream. My 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
Martin Luther King was a reverend at a small church in Montgomery, Alabama during the 1950s. At this time, many public places in the United States were segregated. That means that black people were forced to use separate spaces from white people. There were separate bathrooms, separate waiting rooms, and separate communities. Even public buses were segregated. Montgomery, Alabama was no exception. In that town on December 1st, 1955, a woman named Rosa Parks boarded a bus, sat down, and refused to give up her seat to a white passenger. She challenged the segregation law and she was arrested.
The injustices which we have experienced.
Martin Luther King took action and helped organize a protest against the arrest of Rosa Parks. This would be the beginning of a career that would change the whole country. The protest was a boycott, which meant that all the black people in Montgomery, Alabama would stop riding the buses. It was one of the largest protests of the Civil Rights Movement.
Well, we hope to achieve equal rights that any human being deserves. That's what we're working for.
For over a year, the protesters walked to work or took taxis, but refused to ride the buses. Meanwhile, Rosa Parks' case was taken to the Supreme Court.
This protest which we are involved in is constitutional. And to deny us that right would be to deny our constitutional right as citizens of the United States of America.
After 381 days of walking for equality, they were successful. The Supreme Court ordered Montgomery to end segregation on its buses. But this was just the beginning for Martin Luther King. There was still segregation in schools and hotels and restaurants. Martin Luther King wanted to change this, but he wanted to do it in a non-violent way so no one would get hurt. Unfortunately, many times, force was used to stop his peaceful demonstrations. But even faced with violence, Martin Luther King continued to believe in the power of non-violent protests. Less than a year after he gave his speech in Washington, D.C., President Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act of 1964 into law, making segregation illegal in public places and giving black people equal rights in their jobs and in education. Martin Luther King won the Nobel Peace Prize for his work in the Civil Rights Movement. At 35 years old, He was the youngest person ever to receive this honor.
The Nobel Peace Prize.
And Martin Luther King continued his campaign.
I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain.
Several years later, while attending a peaceful demonstration in Memphis, Tennessee, Martin Luther King was killed.
I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
Martin Luther King's death shocked the whole world. He had achieved great victories in the civil rights movement. He had affected the lives of millions of people and brought hope to millions more.
I have a dream.
He had a dream of equality for all Americans, and he chose to chase his dream.
Hello, my name is Brooklyn. I'm at the Wildcat Cafe. Today we are having nachos for lunch. I hope everyone enjoys their lunch. Have a great day.
My dream is to be a teacher and a ballerina.
Thank you, Wildcat, for sharing your fabulous dream. I hope you have a roaring day. Remember, R is for respect, O is for ownership, A is for attitude, and R is for responsibility. Now that's your one, Wildcat.